Hi, everybody. It's Jim Arthur, and I'm here with Sarah Ballantyne. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. Uh, Sarah Ballantyne is the blogger, and a very interesting blog it is too, at thepaleomom.com.
Right.
And she has stuff there that is just not around on any other of the diet and nutrition blogs that I visit. So I'm really happy to see and meet you, Sarah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
I was a scientist. I did medical research before my first daughter was born, and then I decided that being a scientist was such a intense, high-powered, um, demanding career that I wanted to take a break from that so I could be the best mom that I could.
Uh-huh.
And my oldest now is 5.5 and about to start kindergarten, and I have another daughter who's 2.5. And and I love being a stay-at-home mom, and I love having a science background. One of the great things about having a science background is as I have gone through my own health challenges and sought solutions for all of the health issues that I was having, it's allowed me to approach nutrition from a very scientific way. And that's how I found the paleo diet, because it is the first diet that's really based on current, high quality, unbiased research and comprehensive, really systematic, looking at every aspect of our diets. And it really resonated with me. And once I finally learned about it and started reading about it and tried it, and it was amazing, that I was so inspired to start a blog and share my experiences and also my knowledge with my readers.
Right. And so not only do you do science, though, you also do a lot of mom stuff, how to feed your kids and stuff. And so
Yeah.
that's what's really interesting to me too, because parents want their children to be healthy and well nourished. Tell us a little bit about your personal story, Sarah, because it's really inspiring.
Well, I had weight issues pretty much my whole life, I guess, teenage years on, and I know I hit 270 pounds. When I actually look back at pictures now, I wonder if I was underestimating how heavy I got. And I really struggled. And I found low carb diet first, and that worked for me in terms of losing weight, but it didn't work for me in terms of getting healthy. And even though I was losing weight, I was actually getting more and more sick. I kept getting these new things. I used to say, oh, thank goodness for modern medicine. I'd be dead 100 times if it wasn't for modern medicine. And I realize now that it was my modern diet that was causing all of these health issues. When I look back now with the knowledge that I have now, I see it as all linked and related. I had asthma and allergies and irritable bowel syndrome and acid reflux and migraines, and I used to get colds all the time. I was tired all the time. I had repetitive strain injuries. Um, I had acne. I pretty much had, all of these things. And then I ended up with psoriasis and a skin condition called lichen planus. The lichen planus is actually an autoimmune disease, which I didn't learn until quite recently. But it was my frustration with that. I was losing weight on a low carb diet, and my lichen planus was flaring and getting worse and worse and worse. And I needed to find a solution. And it was looking for answers for that condition that actually brought me to paleo. And within 2 weeks of starting a paleo diet, I was off medicines that I had been on for 12 years. I was on 6 prescription medicines when I started paleo. I am on none. And everything is gone. I am healthy. I have energy. I sleep well. The only thing is my lichen planus is still healing, but it is
Uh-huh.
healing noticeably, and I can see the changes every day. And it's now at a point, whereas it used to be I wouldn't show my ankles or wrists in public. It's at a point now where you would never notice if you weren't looking for it with a microscope. And that's paleo, and that's why I'm so enthusiastic about it. But I've also seen great changes in my kids. My kids have more energy. My kids are healthier. My husband's healthier. We just all feel so much better.
Oh, fantastic. Now, of course, everybody's experiences will be different,
Yeah.
and maybe not as dramatic as yours, but I think almost everyone will really benefit from looking at this diet and going into it. Was there any one particular turning point once you got on paleo where you said, "Wow, this is it," or where you really knew that you'd found a good way of giving your body nutrition and your kids, your
Well,
husband?
I think that I hit a moment of enthusiasm where I knew I was on the right track. about 2 weeks in when I was able to go off the medications that I was taking for irritable bowel syndrome that I had been on for 12 years. But at that point, I was sold on the paleo diet and nutrition as the source of health in general. But I actually really struggled because when I first started the paleo diet, my lichen planus didn't get better. And that was the reason why I searched for the paleo diet.
Uh-huh.
And I had to dig deeper. And that's when I found the autoimmune protocol, which is what I've had to do. It's much more restrictive than a regular paleo diet. Food quality becomes much more important. And that's one of the things that I try and blog about is the modifications that some people need to do, that paleo by itself is not enough to address health issues. Because I think that people get discouraged. They go, aha, all of this research on paleo diet, this is going to be my solution. And they try it and they don't get better right away. And there's lots of reasons why they might not get better right away. They might have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or they might have gut brain axis connection problems where there's inflammation in the brain that's really difficult to turn off.
Mm-hmm.
They might have sensitivities that are difficult to diagnose. A lot of people will have FODMAP sensitivities, which are fermentable sugars in food, so that restricts the vegetables they can have, or allergies like food sensitivities like to eggs or nuts, or autoimmune issues. It took me a long time to realize that lichen planus was an autoimmune disease and that that's what I needed to do. So I try and also address those issues with my blog about the extra mile that some people have to go in order to make this work. But I do believe it can work.
Oh, absolutely. And I will link to your autoimmune protocol page down below for
Thank you.
people who are looking at it. I'm also going to link to a recent article you did that is not a Brainiac article. It's an article about eating breakfast, and it's one of the most sensible examinations of should I skip breakfast or not. And I'm going to link to that too. And in closing, thank you very much, Sarah. But in closing, let's tell people why you think people should visit your blog, what they'll get from it, and why your blog is a little different than others.
Well, my blog is a mix. I mean, I've already talked about the science that I
Yes.
present, but I also talk about my own struggles and sometimes successes, but I'm real and I'm honest with when I fail or when I try something that doesn't work or when I just can't get my kids to eat vegetables. And I try and share those experiences and talk about just the practical nature of paleo. And I also share the recipes that I come up with that work in my family, and I really try and give a whole picture. So my blog is really a little bit for everybody, and I think that's why my readers connect so well with it.
I do too, by the way. This
Thank you.
is Jim Arthur and saying thank you and bye-bye to Sarah Ballantyne. The links are down below, thepaleomom.com. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you so much.